Good afternoon and welcome to Lent 2023. I'm Sister Kathy Sherman and I'll be sharing today's reflection. Every year on Ash Wednesday, we hear God's invitation through the prophet Joel, "Return to me with all your heart." This familiar beckoning, this call to return, invites us to take a spiritual journey and to do so wholeheartedly. Dag Hammarskjöld has a beautiful prayer that speaks to this as well. It says, "Give me a pure heart that I may see you. Give me a humble heart that I may hear you. Give me a heart of love that I may serve you. Give me a heart of faith that I may abide in you." These words of Joel and Hammarskjöld focus on the heart, the center of God's life and love dwelling in each of us. It's interesting that the wisdom tradition of our faith sees the heart as an organ of spiritual perception, kind of like a finely tuned instrument that keeps us aligned and on track. But aligned and on track for what? Perhaps being aligned has something to do with our yearning for intimacy with our Creator, as well as a hunger for embodying Christ's vision, a vision that overflows and bears witness to God's expansive and all-inclusive love. We see this vibrant vision pulsing throughout the gospel as we watch Jesus heal the hurting and mend the broken, as he challenges the hypocrisy of those in authority and calls into question some of the religious practices of his day. We watch Jesus welcome and befriend women and dine with sinners and outcasts. We see him embrace the marginalized, teach the multitudes, lift up the lowly. And we see him reverence the lilies of the field and break down barriers with a love that has no boundaries. This is the powerful vision we are entrusted with and called by Christ to claim as our own. And the one who entrusts us with this vision is the one we seek and dare to follow, the one who inspires our loving and passion for justice, the one in whom we live and move and have our being. There's a wonderful story I'm remembering today that will help guide my Lenten journey. It's about a man named Ted Shawn. Ted was a young divinity student who suffered temporary paralysis following a serious illness. Though it seemed crazy to him, he heard a calling deep in his heart to, of all things, dance. So he quit divinity school and he did just that. He began dancing, and then slowly and quite miraculously, not only did he regain the use of his legs, but he went on to become one of the most famous pioneers of modern dance. This story is compelling because it flips our sense of practicality and logic, which God never seems to be that fond of anyway. And it's this: when it came to his healing, it wasn't studying about God that ultimately healed him. It was that he embodied God. His dancing embodied God, and that's what led to his healing. And so I wonder, could embodying God with our lives be what it looks like to return to God with our whole heart? And if so, how might you be hearing that call this Lent? Just a thought. Thanks for listening and blessings on your journey.